My name is Carolyn, and I talk to the spirit world. Travel with me to a dimension filled with love, light, and joyful surprises. Welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my show. I'm Carolyn, and this is my Psychic Playroom. I am thrilled and excited to be with you guys today and to share some fun times. I have a bunch of people who have written in and asked for tarot mini readings, and I also have a wonderful guest. So we are going to get right to it today. My amazing guest is Ms. Yvonne Alers. I had the privilege of meeting Yvonne when we did a mediumship class together. We're both studying with the powerful British medium Mavis Patilla. But Yvonne, I soon learned, was more than just a medium or a psychic. She actually does something very special called Akashic Records reading. And I was very interested in this. And when I met her, I just knew that I wanted to have her on my show. So as soon as I can get this set up here, I'm going to go ahead and bring her interview up here because I think you guys are going to love it. Let me see here. All righty, hold on just one second while I pull it up. Okay, so this is my interview, Yvonne and I. So, hi everybody. This is Carolyn Wilkins, and as you know, here on the Psychic Playroom, I get to interview tons of the most fascinating people around. And this month's interview is with my dear friend Yvonne Alers. And Yvonne, in addition to being a wonderful medium, psychic, and all-around awesome human being, also works in a very fascinating area, which is she works with the Akashic Records. And I'm really excited to share her with you today because you might be going, what are the Akashic Records? How do you work with them? Why would you work with them? And that we are going to address today. So welcome, Yvonne.
My gosh, Carolyn, thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction. You had me blushing there for a minute. That was so nice. Thank you so much. What an honor to be on the show. And thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk about my passion, the Akashic Records. So thank you.
Awesome. So listen, we all know you're a psychic and you're a medium. How did you kind of begin this journey? What was the first thing that happened that sort of really made you aware that you were a psychic?
You know, it's funny because when I look at my path, I really think of just things just kind of naturally started happening. I never really, you know, I would see things and get insight about something, but never really put too much thought in it. And it wasn't until I started my path and started different things that I started to really realize that we all have a gift and we all have the natural ability to do so. It's just that we need to really develop it.
That's right. So, I would agree with you completely. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit here so hopefully people can see me. But anyway, so now moving on to the Akashic Records. Now, we in the kind of new age spiritual world, we've heard about this before, but there are a lot of people out there that are going, the what? So just really quickly, what are the Akashic Records?
So the Akashic Records are an energetic field, and it contains a vibrational record of every soul and its journey through all lifetimes. So think of it as every deed, every word, every feeling, every action, every thought that has ever occurred in the history of our time is captured in the Akashic Records. So the beautiful thing about them is that we can see the past, present, and future possibilities. And the reason I say future possibilities is because nothing is ever really set in stone in the records, and also they will never limit us. So they are ever evolving.
That is fascinating. That is really, so you're saying that, but you're not implying that we're just locked in, it's all predestined and that we have no choice. I know.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have free will. And so as things shift in our lives, the Akashic Records will kind of shift, update, add, and go along as well, capturing those moments.
Oh, that is so exciting. So here's a question for you. Some people may be saying, well, why? Why would I even want to access the Akashic Records? Do I really want to know what's going to happen in my future? Why? What is the point of it?
And again, it's a future possibility, but the way I look at the Akashic Records is we are always seeking for answers. We're always asking those questions that have to do with why am I here? What is my true purpose? And those are the best types of questions to really be able to look into the Akashic Records for some guidance and insight. There's such a wonderful resource of knowledge and wisdom. And I find that even opening and viewing the Akashic Records can help us change and start to create a different aspects or different things in our lives.
Wow, that is really interesting.
They really are. They really are.
So if a person comes to you, what is sort of the typical, can you just quickly walk us through what might be a typical experience?
So the main thing I usually tell folks is what's important about the Akashic Records is they can view their records. They do not have access to and open up someone else's. And the Akashic Records are very sacred and they maintain a high level of integrity. So one of the things that I often tell people is we can look into your relationship as it pertains to that person, how they relate or how they're a part of your records, but that's it. And I think that that's beautiful because we really don't want to be going into other people's stuff. That's theirs, that's their journey, that's their lessons or whatever it is that they need to learn. But for us, when people approach me, I usually tell them yes or no questions really don't work well with the Akashic Records. Again, because they won't limit us and they won't take away our power. So they always, ultimately, the decision is up to us. So what we can do through the Akashic Records is gain the knowledge or look at a particular situation and then make that decision based on whatever presents itself or whatever light is shed from the records.
Wow, this is really interesting. So now that leads me to my next question, which is, if someone wanted to find you, where do you do your thing? Do you have an office? Do you go to psychic fairs? Where do you do this thing?
I do it from home. You can do it via Skype, via phone, via, all these different social media tools are now available to us. Folks can reach out and we can set up a time. I also do go to fairs and different things like that as well.
Well, this is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that you took time out of your busy day to sit down here and visit with us in the Psychic Playroom. And I will say that for people who are interested in learning more about the Akashic Records or how to connect with Yvonne Alers, you can Google her, of course, Yvonne Alers. But also the easiest and quickest way is to write me here at the Psychic Playroom. And as you know, the email address is psychicplayroom@gmail.com. And if you wish to find out more about Yvonne, I will be happy to send you all her information. So Yvonne is also, just one more little thing about her, she's also a medium, and she's also an excellent psychic reader in general. So if you're looking for an interesting approach to finding out more about your life and what may be in store for you in the future, Yvonne is a great person to connect with. And she's located right here in the Boston area. So you can't beat that with a stick.
That's right. I'm a diehard New Englander, a Bostonian.
There you go. Well, listen, Yvonne, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And yeah, we will talk again soon. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching.
Great. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So that was Yvonne, and you will agree she's just a lovely human being, full of integrity, full of wisdom. And if you're interested in learning more about what Yvonne does with the Akashic Records, write me psychicplayroom@gmail.com. Okay, now, speaking of the Akashic Records, I've actually had several requests for mini tarot readings, so I'm going to get back into that, and we're going to jump right into that in a minute. I do want to point out that the deck that I'll be using is my Akashic Records tarot deck. This is a deck that was designed by a woman named Sharon Klinger, and she does utilize many of those, what I would call archetypal images that are contained within our universal subconscious, collective unconscious, whatever you want to call it. And she feels that when we use this deck, we do tap into the Akashic Records. So that's our theme for today. So I'm going to get right to my first reading. So my first question was from CJ, and they wanted to know, am I going to meet and spend time with the love of my life before I die? Oh my. Well, we certainly hope so, but let's see what the cards have to say. So I've got my deck here, and as you can see, I'm going to just kind of spread it around here. And the first card that comes out is the waning moon, okay? This is a moon on the wane. And what this signifies to me is that you are finishing, CJ, a cycle in your life. And my guess from the nature of your question is that it's been a cycle of not being able to find the right people, not being able to connect with the right partnership. And this cycle, the cards say, is coming to an end. This is the waning moon. So this is good news. Let me pull another one very quickly and see if the cards have any further information. And we see right here, this card, I hope you can see it. The title of the card is Intricacies and Industry. And it shows a building being built. And you may not be able to see it, but there's a little man right there. He's working on the building. He's rolling out the plans. He's looking to see. So what this says to me is that even by the very nature of your asking this question, CJ, you are beginning to put yourself in the proper place mentally, physically, and spiritually to connect with the person who will be that rewarding and fulfilling long-term partnership. You're in the process of kind of building your house, if you will. You've released some old things that were not serving you, possibly some old habits, some old relationships, some old ways of looking at relationship, and you're in the process of building something new. So my feeling is that yes, you will, if you're ready to continue doing the work of building your new structure. Stay positive, stay in the light, continue to release what no longer serves you, and be open to new possibilities because you're building something. Okay, I hope that that helps. I'm going to go now to my next question, which is from LD. LD asks, will I be able to make a living with my spiritual work soon? Now, this is a question. I can truly feel you on this, LD. Making a living in any kind of creative field can be challenging. Making a living in spiritual work can be challenging. And it is perfect, valid question. And I'm going to just kind of shuffle the cards around here and let's see what they say. What does LD need to know about making a living with their spiritual work? And the first card that I'm going to pull up here is the Scribe. Okay, this is a really nice card. I would say this is a positive indicator. The Scribe, I don't know if LD, your spiritual work involves any kind of writing or any kind of creative, that kind of thing, but the Scribe obviously is writing, and the Scribe has around him a committee of people. I don't know if you can see the card very well. There's a bunch of people sitting at a table. The Scribe has a committee of people who are helping. And to me, if you're talking about spiritual work, this is your guides, your spiritual inspirers and supporters. And my feeling is that you will, if you continue to reach out to them and ask for help and meditate on your question, you will be receiving guidance from your spiritual support team, because your spiritual work is important. As I say, I feel from this card that if you haven't thought about writing, whether it's doing a blog, whether it's doing some kind of presentation, whether it's actually composing, whether a book or I don't know, but there's definitely writing and you will be supported in it. Let me pull one other card for you here. And this card is, oh, this is a beautiful card right here, LD. This is the Light of the World. I don't think you can go wrong with this card. The Light of the World. So, as you know, when we do spiritual work, we are the light of the world. It is our job to bring the light to the world. So I would say to you that your desire to do spiritual work is right on the money, and that your guides and spiritual support team will be there to help you. So I would say the answer to your question is soon, and very soon. Keep on keeping on and continue to reach out for help from your guides. All right, moving on. LL had a question, and that question was, what do I need to know about my upcoming retreat in Jamaica? All right, LL. Well, first of all, a retreat in Jamaica, that already sounds pretty cool. But let's see what the cards have to say. And I would say, as I'm kind of shuffling here, that when you're working with your own cards, I don't know how many of you actually are doing readings or kind of readings for yourself or for others, but asking a question such as, what do I need to know? rather than as, and I think Yvonne addressed this in her interview as well, rather than a yes or no kind of question, a more broader, open-ended question such as, what do I need to know, is the golden way. This is the one that's going to help you get the most out of your reading. Okay, so what does LL need to know about the Jamaican retreat? And I am pulling a card here, and this card is the Three of Forces, and it's called the Bird's Nest. And hopefully you can see from this picture, there is a mother bird feeding her little chicks. Now, what this says to me is a couple of things. First of all, that you have already laid a lot of groundwork for this retreat. You have already done all the preparation. You have nurtured it. It's like your baby. You've been dropping little worms in its mouth. You've been setting it up. And I would say to you, these birds are just about ready to fly. It feels to me that the people who come to this retreat are going to be very well nurtured. They're going to feel safe. They're going to feel held, because you have really made it a point to try to give them every possible advantage. And you've thought through a lot of things. You've laid a lot of groundwork here. Let me pull one more card for you very quickly. And that card is the Karmic Trench right here. Okay, the Karmic Trench is things that come up, that happen to us, that sometimes are the result of either past lifetimes, past experiences, things that just happen. They seem to come out of the blue, and there's nothing much that you feel that you can do about them, except that you are working through situations from your past. A situation like this may arise. There may be a sudden bump in the road. If it happens, I would encourage you to remember all the groundwork, all the preparation, all the care you have taken to make sure that your people feel held, and not get rattled if there's a sudden, dip, something unexpected, someone cancels, something like this. Don't let it throw you, because the first card is always the strongest card, and that first card is your people will be held, they will be supported, and they will be loved. So there may be bumps, but we're not going to take them seriously. We're going to understand that they are the result of past karma, either yours or someone else involved, but you're going to be able to move through them with ease. So I hope that helps, and I wish you a blessed and wonderful Jamaican retreat. Sounds like big fun. All right. And for our last question, today we have MS. MS has asked her question, or it could be his question, I don't know. But the question is, will my boys be okay while I'm gone? So I assume this is about a trip. Will my boys be okay while I'm gone? And so I am going to shuffle a card here. Let's see what comes up. MS. The first card here is setting your course. So it says to me that you have decided you're going, you've set your course, your path is clear. I would say proceed on your course. Certainly do not postpone your trip, if it's a trip, I assume, gone, that you do not worry. Your course is set. And let me now look here, and we'll pull one other one very quickly. All righty. All right, the universe has spoken, MS. This card is Archangel Michael. You don't get any more protected than that. Archangel Michael, for those of you not into the New Age world, is the angel of protection. And I would say, absolutely, don't worry about a thing. The boys will definitely be safe while you're gone. And I'm going to just dink here with the computer, so pardon me while I do this thing here. But I do want to just take a moment once again. We're almost out of time, but I want to take a moment once again to remind you that if you have questions for the Psychic Playroom, you can write me psychicplayroom@gmail.com. Write your question. Now, there were several other people who wrote questions that I was not able to get to today. But fear not, tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern Time on Friday, I will be on Facebook Live to answer the remaining questions, okay? So, I hope you've enjoyed the Psychic Playroom. This is Carolyn Wilkins, and I'm signing out.
Thoughts are things with the energy to make life better for you and for me. Touch the light.